Hello and welcome to the next episode of the MVP Taxi. My name is Stefan and I'm pleased to introduce you a dear guest of mine, Stefan, today.
Hey, thank you, Stefan, for having me for the MVP Taxi.
Thank you for accepting our invitation, Stefan. So, Stefan, I don't know where to start at, but let's do the following. Can you please tell us some short information about you? What are you doing lately? Where do you work at? How is your life going?
Life is good, and I'm working for a Swiss insurance company called the Immobiliar. It's just a national Swiss insurance company, and I'm working there in a cloud team. What we are trying to do is to put all the custom developed applications to Azure.
Very interesting.
And in this team, we are building basically the foundation of it. So based on Kubernetes, on API management, API app gateways, and stuff like that.
This sounds very interesting. And besides work, are you also busy with some community activities?
Oh yes, I run two user groups, two meetups. One is the Azure user group in Bern, and also the Microsoft IT Pro user group in Bern. Also organizing conferences, of course.
Sounds like a lot of things going on. I was always wondering, how do you manage to keep the work-life balance, because you are busy at work, you have some community activities going on like organizations and stuff. How do you manage to find time for your family?
Oh, I've been doing it for a couple of years now. In the beginning, I didn't have any children, so it was a bit easier. Then you get married, you get your first child, and so on. Then you have less time, so you have to plan better, and you need an understandable wife, or yeah.
That's very important factor. I agree about this. That's very important factor. And Stefan, you were previously known for being an expert, and you're still of course an expert in System Center, but your career took a slight different path than the last couple of years. How come? How did it happen that you switched from System Center to more Azure stuff?
Or you ask, why did I change from on-prem to the cloud business now? Well, I still love kind of the on-prem System Center product, of course, and also SCOM, but at some point you have to decide where is your future, where you see the market goes. So I decided I have to kind of move on and develop new kind of skills and knowledge. And that's there where I see Azure is the future. And so I started early, and then I had to let SCOM go and all the System Center products to have more resources to put into the new technologies.
Do you still miss SCOM or doing SCOM from time to time?
Yeah, I still follow on Twitter the posts from Kevin Holman and from you guys who are working on SCOM. Yeah, sure. We have the certain feelings about this product, but yeah.
To be honest with you, back in the days as I started working with SCOM, you were one of the, let's say, top experts I was learning from and I was following. So you gave me a lot. Thank you for that. So Stefan, what do you recommend to all the youngsters or young specialists who are just starting their career in IT and particularly in Azure? What would you tell them? What would be your advice?
My advice would be, okay, first you have to be passionate about what you're doing. So you have to figure out what is my skill set, what I like most, am I a developer or am I more like kind of an architect? Am I more interested in the security? You cannot cover the entire thing, so you have to figure out what you like most. And when you are patient about if you have a certain passion about your technology or skills you like to develop, then you just do it in your spare time. You do it while on the train, or
you enjoy it also.
You enjoy it, and then you get good at it. So and then you have fun, and then you.
That's awesome. I really admire all the IT people I meet when I really notice that they have not only are doing their job, but they also have fun with it. So it's really great. I was wondering, being a father and a family man, having a work and also community activities, do you still have time for something else? What do you do in your spare time when you're not working on activities, community? I mean, when you are not at work, or when you just have time for yourself?
Yeah, I know what you mean. So as I mentioned before, I have a son, and he likes to play ice hockey. So he's 5 years old, but plays since 3 years ice hockey, and so I go a lot with him to play ice hockey, and I try to get some kind of balance. So I try to go twice a week to the gym and get some health things back, because in our age you get problems with the back, or
absolutely,
you need to develop some muscles, and so that's what I do. There is not much more, or spending time with my family, of course.
Did you play ice hockey yourself as a kid?
No. I started when my son started, because my wife is very much into ice hockey. Mm-hmm. So I didn't know anything about it, but then I started 2-3 years ago, and now I'm very safely on the ice, but I'm not a very good hockey player.
Yeah. So, speaking about what did you do as a kid, what were your favorite things? I mean, like what did you like doing as a kid? What did you become? What did you dream becoming of?
Yeah, that's a good question. I didn't have so many dreams. What I always enjoyed is to figure out things, play and see. Does it work when I think it should work like this? So I'm coming actually from the chemistry. Mm-hmm. That's what I used to do in the past, more than 20 years ago. So it's also you have all the chemistry stuff, and you put it together and see if it works. And IT is similar to that. You have in Azure, you have all the services. It's like a big Lego, and you take this piece, and then you try to figure out, does it work together? Is it the way you think it should work?
That's the first time I hear this comparison, but it actually fits very nice. Azure and chemistry and putting things together. Yeah. That's really interesting. You were doing a lot of monitoring previously, and you're doing now Azure. Is there a technology where you always wanted to master, to get really good at, but you didn't have the chance or the time to do so?
What I always admire are the developers.
Me too.
I'm more from the IT pro side, as you mentioned, from the monitoring side, and I mean there is Azure Monitor and all the governance stuff. I really like to do, and I'm putting energy into it. But I admire the developers, and that's what I should have wanted to learn earlier. So I'm still have kind of some skills. I know a bit C# and stuff like that, but I'm not a developer. But that's what I really like, and would
absolutely the same with me actually. Do you do a lot of Azure DevOps?
DevOps stuff, yeah, actually in my company we are, as I mentioned, we are building this platform, and also we try to build everything as infrastructure as code. We are using Terraform for it, and I should say Azure DevOps, but we are using now GitLab as pipelining tool, and we are building all those components. So, and when you pick me up, the building down there, that's the place where all the developers from Demobiliars are.
Okay.
So as you see, we moved closer to the developers. We as a cloud team, so we can talk easier to the pipeline guys. How do you do that? And developers come. How can we do that? And so we do some kind of consulting also.
Yeah, very nice, very nice. I always wondered, you're MVPs for many years now, and being an MVP gives you the chance to travel a lot in the world and to see many different places, countries, cities. You certainly have visited a lot of countries and places so far, but what are the, let's say, 2 or 3 choices where you can say this will be always in my head, or this will remain always in my head, this place or this city?
Yeah, okay. You know, as you said, becoming MVP is also a lot of community activities, and at some point you start speaking, to start as a speaker and so on. And I remember back those days at the System Center Universe conferences. They started in Bern, the very first one, which became later on now Experts Live Europe. And in between there are 8 or 9 years, and I have attended all of them as a speaker. And in the very beginning it started in Bern and then moved to Basel. And at some point also Berlin. So, but those are the Bern and Basel, because it started there. It's close to here. So it's
so those places have a special place in your heart, so to say.
Yeah, exactly. And also those conferences, they still stay in my heart. Yeah.
That's so cool. MVP Talks is very often about showing not only the technical side one MVP has, but also presenting the person behind the title.
Yeah.
So, a surprise question: what would you tell us or tell to the audience something which we are not suspecting, or something surprising about you, a fun fact, so to say, about Stefan Roth?
Fun fact about me. That's really it's a hard one, because I don't think there are any fun facts.
No unusual stuff around you, no secrets, no no special skills like for example balancing on your, I don't know what, or some playing some really strange instruments, for example.
I used to play saxophone.
Oh, that's a thing. That's a thing.
Not professionally, but I used to play for the military.
Okay, very nice.
And I did there my military. What do you say?
Service. Your
military service,
yeah.
Exactly. There I used to play many years, and I was thinking about maybe going studying some music.
Oh, that's nice.
Saxophone,
I would really love to hear that. I would really love to hear that. And saxophone is really a great music instrument. Do you still do that? Practice? Or?
Oh no, everything changed. You know, I used to go to the US about when I was 20 years old, and I lived there for more than 2 years. And did there also some chemistry stuff. So I used to work there. It's close to New York City, in New Jersey, and. Then, you know, I took my instrument with me and I practiced there with some other saxophone players. But then somehow I never got that much into it again. I came back and then somehow I decided, okay, I want to go to do something else. Then I changed. I switched into IT. It was that time back when everyone could change their profession to IT support.
Yeah.
And that's where I started. Yeah.
That's really great. So Stefan, I was wondering, you mentioned all the community activities you're working on. Can you please shed some light on what exactly are you planning? What are the user groups you're involved in? The conferences you're organizing?
Oh, so that's now my commercial slot, so I can.
yes, so to say, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
thank you. So on February 20th, there is a meetup in Bern. I'm organizing with another MEP, Stefan. We run the user group together about containers and serverless in Azure. We will have some speaker from Microsoft and also another colleague, Paul Affentranger, who is more in mixed reality.
Mm-hmm.
Then there is another meetup on March 3rd. It's with Tommy Layo,
Okay.
a security expert,
Mhm.
because he's giving some classes close to Bern, and he will join us in the evening. Then I got a session for Azure Day Poland.
Okay, where is it? In Poland, okay.
Poland,
Mhm.
in Warsaw. I will have there a session for Azure Policy, the Cloud Police.
Mm-hmm.
And what then next, there is Ignited Tour Zurich.
Ooh, that's an important event, yeah, right.
That's an important one. That's March 4th and 5th.
Mm-hmm.
Where we will attend with our user group there, and also have a session where we try to we have 70 minutes or something like that.
Mhm.
We will try to run the session like a meetup. So we will have 2 sessions and some intro, what you are doing to
Mhm.
meetup. It's in the community corner at
Yep.
Ignite.
That would be interesting.
Yeah. And then, of course, there is later on in March, mid of March, the MEP Summit.
Yes,
That's where I will join and see what's going on. So those are the main activities which are planned for the next few weeks.
Mm-hmm. And what about Azure-related conferences?
Azure.
Later this year, for example?
Oh yeah, of course. I forgot one. That's the Global Azure Bootcamp.
Absolutely, that's what I wanted to hear.
Yeah, sorry, there's so much going on. The 2 colleagues and I will organize the Global Azure Bootcamp in Switzerland at Welle 7 in Bern.
Mm-hmm.
It's an entire day. We'll have about 20 sessions. It's a Saturday on April 25th, and it's all about Azure. We will charge a small fee because we had so many no-shows in the past, and we will expect about 250 people there.
Oh, that would be nice. That would be
And we have very nice sponsors which make it possible to run such an event for almost free.
Mm-hmm. Is registration already open for Azure Bootcamp?
Yeah, you can go to azurebootcamp.ch and then you can order your ticket.
That's very nice. I'm personally definitely going to do this, especially when it's on Saturday, because this way I can somehow balance it with my work, because if it's during the week it's most probably very hard to do this. But this is great, so for everybody who is watching, please make sure you visit the site, grab a ticket and enjoy this event. It will be really something great.
Awesome.
So Stefan, thank you very much for your interview, for the interesting information you have provided. And guys, don't forget to sign up for the meetups Stefan organizes, and also for the conferences. See him at the Ignite in Zurich, and also at the Azure Bootcamp in Bern. Take care. See you next time. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.